Mr. John. How are you?
Okay. Good afternoon, sir.
How are you? How?
Sorry?
How work?
We thank God, though. I had to close early. I had to close early and run back home.
You run back home. Welcome, Oga.
I can see the lovely faces, especially this
Yes. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good afternoon, sir.
If you laugh too much, you know they will challenge you today.
We'll be fine. We'll be fine.
The good news is the feedback I got from Professor on your works is impressed.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. We are very, very happy. Sir? Hello, sir.
Yeah, with you.
That lady you sent to that lady that you sent to our group, she didn't confirm to us up to now.
Well, she will join the meeting today. Don't worry.
Oh, group 3. You say Messi, Ike.
Yeah, she will join. She's in the meeting already.
I think she's online already.
She's
online already. So
class. Let's see your face.
I believe she can hear you.
Messi, let's have your face.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, our president.
Yeah, Messi, how are you?
Nice to see you all.
I was just sharing that Prof just replied the mail saying that he was impressed with what he saw.
Okay, well, very
Two people in the review room. Look at all these people are now entering the class very early. Edo State, AKWA 2.
BAUCHI.
I've not no, you have always been there. I've not seen GOMBE yet.
Gombe, I never see him.
That's what I'm saying. You know, Messi has broken the record. So the meeting starts officially a minute to this time. Prof is already there. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Good
morning,
everyone.
Good morning, Prof.
How are you doing, Raja? Okay. So can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can hear you clearly.
All right.
Yes, sir. We can hear you clearly, sir.
All right. So should we, okay, so how many people are on right now?
We have 8.
Okay, so that means that pretty much everyone is on. All right.
We have about 3 more, about 2-3 more joining now.
Okay.
Right.
That's fine. So, how is everybody doing? How is the situation in Nigeria? Let's talk for a few minutes.
Okay, speak from your environment. Do you have answers?
Yeah.
No any issues now, I think.
So is there still a political unrest, or are you okay now?
We are okay now.
All right. Okay, good. All right, that's good. That's good to know. So what do you guys think of the election here in the United States? The current election. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah, we loud and clear.
All right. Good.
So what do you think of the United States elections?
Yeah.
Well, I think so far they're making it look more and more like the Nigerian election.
Well, for me, I wouldn't want to say it looks more and more like the Nigerian election. Why? Because there is a process. These people, they have process, they have everything it takes. Only that we have someone in power who fails to realize, who fails to accept defeat. He doesn't, is the kind of person who doesn't accept a no for an answer. Or probably let me say, doesn't accept things that doesn't go his own way. You know, anything not going his own way is abnormal. When it goes his way, it's normal. So that's, but to compare American election to Nigerian election, it's like comparing a cow to a chicken. No,
Yeah,
because there is in our own election, we cannot people stand by. We cannot people stand by where the election is going, and then they start sharing a cup of rice. And so there is poverty being weaponized. Poverty is not being weaponized in America. So there are a lot of differences, a lot of them. You can't compare them.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't know which one is a cow and which one is a chicken, but okay. So let me know whenever you wanna get started. By the way, I did look at the submissions of on homework 1, and they are quite good. Very good job, guys. I hope you're learning something. So I wanted to get started on the next session whenever, Amos, whenever you say so, we'll get started.
All right, sir. So within the week, I shared a video. Within the week, I actually picked on every participant, and we had a review on all their assignments.
Okay.
Why I had to do that was to test the pulse of each participant, their seriousness to the projects, and of course, the will to take almost every part of this initiative very seriously. And I must say that I was impressed. And for those who were weak, for those I discovered had some weakness, they had the opportunity to go back and brush up and also collaborate with the various groups that have actually added everybody. And I think that actually helped each and every one of them. When I created the groups, I made mention that the groups was not to say I wanted a group of a leader per se, but I actually want everybody to contribute to the group. And so what we did was that even though we had groups, I made sure that they had individual presentations so that I can actually listen to everybody. So there we discovered some lapses, and I think the opportunity we gave to the rest of them that we identified, they later had enough time to go brush up on what they didn't know, ask the necessary questions, particularly for those who missed the class, and get to recover so that they can be at par with the rest of their colleagues. So I think that helps the general participation in that assignment.
Okay. All right. Okay, very good, very good. And I looked at the postings yesterday, all of the postings, and they were quite good. I mean, the postings that I looked at for one posting was on on actually the Bob's Bicycle Shop, but there was one posting on. Let me get my notes together here. So there was definitely one very good group on Ikram and Ira, the group 1. There was group 2 on SIDMAC company, and then there was group 3 with 3 people on Digital for All. Very nice 8-dimensional model and things of that nature. And Abihe Walu had a submission on Bob's Bicycle Shop. I thought that was really very, very well done. Ayuda's initiative, Ayuda initiative, that was, I think, from group 2. No, that was a different initiative also. So anyway, I mean, the submission that I saw were very, very good.
Right.
So I will send some written feedbacks later on today for just the purpose of just acknowledging it. But I thought they were all quite good. So thank you very much for your attention, and I think this is a very good opportunity for all of us to learn. I just turned off my video because of the making sure that the the quality of the sound is good. So let me know whenever you want me to start. So I am ready to go at it.
Okay. All right. I think at this point, since they have done a review, the assignment's already been taken, I think we can make the progress to your lecture, sir.
Okay. All right. So we'll do the same thing as we did last time.
Yes, yes, sir.
So we'll have the session right now.
After.
Yes. So let me see. Okay, so I have this, and let me know when you can see my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir, we can see your screen and we can see the mouse move. But it needs to go to presentation mode, sir.
Yeah, yes. Can you see it?
Very well, sir.
Okay, so first of all, welcome back. Good to see you all back. It's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon in Nigeria right now. So here is about 8 o'clock in the morning. But I just wanted to review what we did last time. We basically defined what a digital enterprise is and talked about C2B and B2B and B2E type of operations. And it was a very good discussion last time, actually, on which one are the most frequent operations in Nigeria, especially in different industry sectors, like in education. C2B is much more difficult, and in somebody made a very good comment that in manufacturing, a lot of the operations are B2B. So I was very glad to have that type of a discussion. So, and then I talked about the different stage model, and the feedback from all of you was very good, that you thought that the stages made sense. And that's a very good way of discussing the evolution of organizations from brick and mortar. And I noticed that somebody really made a comment that they have heard the term brick and mortar. That was good, and that was good to know also. So really, I'm very delighted with the interaction that we had last time. So now we have also talked about the 8-dimensional model, and I mean that's a very nice way of understanding where are the what are the key technologies and where they can be used to evolve a company from where they are now to where they need to be. So today's session is on the second part of it, and this has to do with the planning of it. So let's say that you do decide that you are currently on stage 1 and you need to go to a higher level of stage, or in terms of the dimensional model, you are in a current situation with a low level technology to high level of technologies. So then the question is, how do you do that? What are the steps? What are the type of activities there, and how do you actually get them all done? So this is the session on enterprise planning, and this is a mixture of technology and also business. So, and I know that all of you have very good background in technologies, and you're also working on several businesses, so that's all very good. So now what I really want to do today is give you an overview of the basic concepts of planning. What is enterprise planning? What are the main steps and stages of the enterprise planning process? And what is computer-aided planning? And then I'll hopefully be able to walk you through a computer-aided planning tool. I think there's some maintenance going on today, so we may have a problem, but I will basically talk about it, and then the idea of patterns. So first of all, I want to mention it that I am going to use, for the purpose of example today, I'm going to use the Bob's Bicycle Shop that we did cover last time as a starting point. So in that shop, and you can of course apply it to your shop. So this can be any small company. So I'm going to use like a small retail company like Bob's Bicycle Shop as an example of how do you develop a plan by using a step-by-step process. So let's get started here. And by the way, this is going to be your second homework assignment is going to be, and that's at the very end that I'll talk about it, will be to apply what we have learned today to Bob's Bicycle Shop or in your organizations that you have mentioned. In your homework one already. So let's just get started on this part. So first of all, I'm sure everybody knows about planning. We all do planning for different things, but I just want to cover the basic concepts of planning, and then we will go over some tools and techniques and methods for planning, and I will go over one example that will give you a pretty good idea of it. So first of all, the term planning is used in two different senses. One is the planning is it's a process. So for example, let's say that you were going to travel. Let's take an example of travel planning. So in a travel planning, there is a process, there are some activities of how are you going to do the travel. So for example, let's say that you wanted to visit Rome, London, and Paris, let's say. Amos maybe has done that, but if you wanted to, let's say, travel to 3 different cities, so the question is, and what is the process and how will you do it? What are the activities needed? The result of a planning process is actually a document. It is the a plan document, and the plan document will have as it says here, it's a document that contains the activities that you have, and also what exactly is the sequence of activities. So you need to, for example, in case of traveling, the kind of activities are that, of course, you need to make reservations. You need to find out different type of situations like the visa requirements and hotel reservations and all those type of things. But the most important thing about the planning process is that there is a goal. There is an overall goal for a planning process. There is an objective. And then also, in addition to the objective, there are always some constraints. So for example, in the travel planning process of, let's say, visiting 3 cities, what do you think are the constraints, typical constraints? I'm asking the audience very quickly. What do you think? What are the constraints in a travel usually?
I think the first.
Yeah, go ahead.
So you have to consider you're planning a travel. You have to consider the weather, things like that, and so you have to consider the politics at the other hand where you're traveling, where you're going. And
Right. Okay. Also, where you're going, what kind of constraints do they have? Always the time, how long are you going to be, how long do you have to visit the 3 cities? The money also involved, any visa restrictions, anything to that effect. So the planning process really is that you start with a goal, and then you also consider all the constraints. So what we are going to look at are the enterprise planning, and there are different type of planning, like wedding planning. I don't know how many of you have gone through a wedding planning, or career planning. Also, what are you going to do? Some of the major work that we are going to do is on enterprise planning. So how do you plan for an enterprise like a city or a community? How do you plan the transition of a particular city or a company like, let's say, Bob's Bicycle Shop? I'm going to use that as an example. So our focus is on strategic planning of how to especially make a company that is successful. So that's what the whole idea is. Anybody can form a company, but making a company that is successful is a very difficult thing. So I'm gonna share with you some of the steps of this process. So let's just get started. So when you look at the enterprise planning or planning of a company like a digital enterprise, the enterprises that you have chosen in your homework 1, like ICRA organization, and also the other organizations that you have. So in all of those kind of companies, or in this case, let's just stay with Bob's Bicycle Shop, you have, first of all, different aspects. In case of Bob's Bicycle Shop, it's a small company. They make bicycle, but they're getting into lots of other sports equipments and maybe tennis rackets, maybe shoes, all kind of things that are needed in a sports shop. So in any kind of a company, and it may be a bank, it may be a transportation company. First of all, the question is that, is this an enterprise-wide planning, like for the entire enterprise, or one service that you're planning? Are you just planning for the new CRM system, or maybe a new system for supply chain management, or are you planning for the entire organization? Then there is a question of area of focus also, that in some cases you're focusing only on business part. Let's say that you want to open a new business center in a rural area in Nigeria, or is it technology planning? In other words, you're focusing more on what kind of technologies are needed and how are you going to provide that? And also the time horizon. Are you talking about short time horizon, long time horizon? So they're really, when people are considering planning of an organization, there are several different ways of looking at it, and our focus is how to succeed. Especially these are like longer range type of things. So I'm just going to show you a framework that will help you decide. So this is in case for example, if I look at Bob's Bicycle Shop as a company, so there are lots of different ways of planning. So what exactly what are you planning? So I'm just going to show you this, and this shows you the 3 different aspects. First of all, it shows you as a matrix. This matrix covers a lot of ground. So we'll take a look at it. So the first thing is if you look at the lowest part, let's say lowest row, this talks about planning like short range planning, like 6 months to 1 year. The second row is 1 to 2 years, and the third row is 3 to 5 years. So this shows you the different types of the ranges of the planning. And then the columns here are showing you what are you planning. Are you planning the business aspects? Are you planning the information systems? Or are you actually planning for the IT infrastructure, like the actual computers and the networks and things of that nature? So given a company, the question is, what exactly, where do you sit here? Are you in the row 1, row 2, row 3? So let's say for Bob's Bicycle Shop, what do you think that Bob needs to plan? What are your thoughts? Do you think, or your company, are you looking at a short range plan, which is like 6 months to 1 year, or 1 to 2 years, or 3 to 5 years? What do you think? Anybody?
Well, I would say for my own company, right, I would say we're actually doing a 1 to 2 year plan. And
okay.
That's basically because of where we are currently at the moment.
Okay, good, very good. And are you planning business only, the business activities, or are you planning technologies, or both?
Okay, we're actually planning both, because the platform we provide is technologically supporting, digitizing the transport industry. So we're actually planning.
Okay. Okay, good. Okay, so you're digitizing the transport industry. So I really would like to know more about what you're doing. So that will be a very interesting project. So definitely, in most cases, people are looking at business and also the technologies, what are needed for 1 to 2 years growth of a company. So, but all I'm saying is that this is a very nice framework that helps you understand where you are and what your area of focus is and what are the kind of questions. So if you read through it, I'm not going to read through it, you can see exactly, for business, what is the goal, what is the kind of, what kind of strategies are there, and what you need to do in all of these different type of aspects. So it is very goal oriented. So at every step you have to specify your goal very, 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 very clearly. So when you're developing a plan for Bob's Bicycle Shop or for your transportation industry or for anything else, please keep that in mind. So this is a very well-known type of framework for trying to figure it out. How can you develop the plans? This should be a very helpful hint. Actually, kind of a matrix for you to move forward. So then I just want to show you a very simple strategy. So this is good. This is all general, but in detail, what does it mean? What are the major steps in planning? So the typical steps, this is just a very simple methodology that starts with business planning as the first step. And then so you plan, figure out what are your business processes. And then after that, you figure out what are the information systems needed for those business processes and what are the technologies. So if you're digitizing, as you mentioned, in transportation, what are those things? So going from top to bottom is a very good idea, because I've noticed an awful lot of people who go the other way around. They first start looking at technologies and then see, how does business fit into that. So, but this is the kind of process that usually works very well. So I'm just going to walk you through a very simple example of it. So I'm going to start, let's say for a retail store like Bob's Bicycle Shop, which actually sells bicycles and sports goods and other things. What are the kind of business processes that take place in this kind of a company? In any retail store, what are the typical business processes? Because before you decide the kind of technologies needed, you have to know what is being automated and what are those kinds of activities. What are the, just go ahead and tell me, what are the kind of activities in a particular business, a retail store? What do retail stores do, for example? Is there a common model for all retail stores? Anybody has any thoughts?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Number one, we have survival, competition, and thrift.
Okay.
Survival of
survival
of your organization, and competition. Who will you compete with, your product and the other product and the summer product?
Right. So your strategy, business strategy, exactly. So exactly your strategy. That's all right here in the business part. I don't know whether you can see this or not, but there is
business.
Yeah, go ahead.
The business process for this kind of business is, I know they want to automate the buying and selling, which will actually be the ordering. They'll have an ordering system and ordering processes, and how they will have to deliver that. If they have to deliver to the homes, if they've gone really digital.
Right.
You have to order online, and then they have to deliver to your house or something. So those are processes that need to be, worked on and automated.
Inventory will be critical too. Inventory process.
Inventory would be critical also. What else would be? Yeah.
Logistics,
yes. Customer relationships also, right?
Yes.
Would be important. So the problem is that there are not very good kind of a complete descriptions of different activities in an organization. So I'm going to show you a very simple model first, and we're going to get into more details of this later on. So this is the, okay, so let's make sure, why am I not moving? Okay, so this is By the way, please take a look at this one. This shows you a typical model, very high level, a model of retail stores. First of all, do you agree with this? Do you see, it shows you 8 major activities of a retail company. Customer services, marketing, human resources, finance and accounting, corporate management, sales, warehousing and distribution and logistics, supply chain management. Do you think that these are the most common activities in all businesses, all actually retail stores, even in governments, actually, this also works, by the way. But go ahead, what do you think?
Yeah, for me, I think this actually, on the high level, it actually describes most of the processes that are involved in most companies, not just retail businesses.
Yes, exactly. So this is, by the way, this is known as a business pattern, by the way. So I will talk about this one in more detail in the next session. So the business pattern is the pattern. This is just a common thing, and you can customize it based on your company. So you have, you know, as we have talked about, the customers, there are different types of customers, of course. If it's healthcare, it's going, customers are going to be patients. If it's government service, the customers are going to be citizens. And of course, you have to do marketing, you have to do human resources. All of these activities are a good representation. If you are a small bookstore or you are Amazon.com, if you look at it, they still are the same activity. So this is a very good way, and I'm going to show you these models for different industries as in the, we'll go in the next session. We'll talk about all of these different activities within a city. Also, what are the kind of things that happen in a city and all kind of different activities that are happening in a city. So this is an example of the business processes in a retail store. This could match the Bob's Bicycle Shop. This could also match your businesses, like B2B businesses, like in the transportation business, or most of the other businesses. And if it does not fit, please do add it as another big block here. These are like business functional areas, and you can just add to them. But these arrows are also important because they show how they all interact with each other. So this is a very simple model, a business process model for retail stores and for most of the organizations. And of course, you can add more things to it. And we'll see, we'll take a look at all of them in this material, okay? Good enough? So now the next question is that after this activity of showing you all the business processes, the question is, how many of these are going to be automated? You can automate all of them. So that would be, remember, going to the outer circle versus the inner circle. Inner circle is that you're really utilizing very few technologies. So in other words, it's not very heavily automated. So if you have 8 major processes and all of them are automated or digitized, then that means that you really are in the outer circle of an organization. Am I right?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay, good. So what I am doing is going to show you an example of how you systematically walk through this kind of a planning process. So in different parts of the businesses, what really happens is that the decision has to be made which activities are most important to be automated first, right?
That's true.
So which one do you think are the ones that are known as the critical business services that will need to be automated here for this for like a sports shop? Which one do you think?
Sales.
Sales, exactly.
I'll start with the marketing.
Marketing, sales, customer services also could be there. So definitely. So I have just randomly picked. By the way, you can pick whichever you want to. And a very nice technique is that you can color code them. So for example, you can make orange the one that you are going to automate first time. And because then that will help you develop the technology plan. So if you, for example, in this case, just randomly, I pick the orange ones are the one that I'm going to automate: customer services, marketing, human resources, and finance. For some strange reason, and then the others for a small shop, let's say, I am going to keep it, and actually it could be the other ways around. That the yellow boxes could be the one that are the ones that are automated, and the oranges are the ones that are not automated. But it's totally your choice based on what exactly are you trying to do. This gives you a very systematic way of approaching how you are going to automate your company. And then this also gives you a way of deciding what you will do in stage 1 and stage 2 and stage 3. And we're going to look at the strategic analysis next week, how you do that one at a time. So let's say you make a decision of which one of these activities are going to be automated, which one are not going to be automated. Do you want to automate everything in year 1? Or will you do it in year 2 or 3? And what are the limitations of automation? So let's just go through that part. So if you do decide that you are going to automate these, let's say 4 functional areas out of 8, as an example, that's good. So then I can now show that what exactly is going to be the applications plan. How are all these things going to work together? So you identify the applications, like packages that you're going to buy, or you're going to develop them yourself. Are you going to, also the question of, are you going to buy them? Are you going to rent them? Are you going to, outsource, like get them over actually develop it, but have another shop develop the packages and the software needed, or develop it yourself or extend. So this is called the broad model, where this is where you make the decisions of what are you going to buy, what are you going to rent, what are you going to outsource the development of it, or develop it in-house, or extend an existing things. So let's say, so this is an example of how the picture could look afterwards. So this is, as I said, this is a step-by-step process of developing an application plan. And the here I am saying, so there's an application, there's a marketing. So I have chosen 4. And so here are my choices of 4, let's say, application packages. Some of them may be developed by yourself. Some of them may be bought from outside. Another one, this one could be also bought, and also the this is being rented. So you can have a mixture of these things, and you make a choice based on some kind of a cost-benefit analysis. And I'm going to walk you through that. And then this is the kind of a platform, a high-level view of the technology platform that will connect all of them together. So this could be one computer on which you put all of them, or you could outsource all of them, like through the cloud services, or whatever choices that you're making. These are simple decisions, but I'm just covering it a bit systematically. And then I want to show you some examples. I know that many of you are very technical, but typically you take a look at a company and develop its own, what kind of infrastructure do you need? Do you need a corporate intranet inside the company? Now, for example, all the computers that are connected and the main server that is going to serve your organization. And then you need a firewall. And of course, from outside, the customers, how will the customers access through the public internet your small company and its corporate internet? So this shows you like a technology. Let me make sure that I move this thing. Some of these things are blocking. Okay, so this is just a sample technical architecture. Now the question turns out to be and all of you know how to do this part, this step. The next step is to look at the cost benefit analysis of it. So in other words, some reason. Yeah, okay. So the main thing is in all of these type of activity is to try to look at some of the costs and the benefits of different type of activities. So I'm just, as I said, I'm just covering the basic foundations of it. And a cost benefit analysis, as everybody knows, it can be very, very detailed, where you are doing, a very detailed analysis, or it can be very much simplified. So I'm going to show you a very simple kind of an approach, which is called the portfolio analysis for cost benefit analysis. So here, let's say that I am using a company, let's say like Bob's Shop, for a small retail company with 8 business processes, and they have 10 employees, okay? And I'm just going to use just a budget example. Let's say that they have a total budget of $20,000 US dollar. I'm just using an example from here. So let's say the hardware cost is around $10,000, but there are software packages like a HR is 5,000, CRM is 2,000, inventory is 4,000, purchasing is 5,000, finance is 6,000, and there are a bunch of other things that you also need to purchase or develop or whatever, and they're, let's say, around $3,000. So now if you look at it, this presents a challenge, because if you pay $10,000 for your hardware, then what you're left with are, if you buy everything, you have only $10,000 left. So that's not going to work. So you do need to do some kind of a cost benefit analysis. And I'm going to show you this approach called the portfolio-based cost benefit analysis, okay? I need to keep on moving these things up and down, unfortunately, so that they don't block the view. All right, okay.
Okay. So we're following.
All right, so can you see it now? So this is a very simple, but a very, very
blocking
powerful.
our view.
Sorry? I'm sorry?
So I think he said our view is
So
not being blocked, that it's clear.
Go ahead, sir.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know, some of these icons are appearing here. I don't want to click on anything because I don't know where will they take me. So I'm just going to just keep moving them here and there. All right. So, but anyway, so let's just do a very simple cost benefit analysis just as an exercise to see how this methodology can be used. So the methodology has very simple analysis of cost is low or high. Low cost is the one that is within your budget. Whatever is in your budget is low cost. If you don't have it, it's beyond your budget. That's considered to be high. Then benefits are low and high also. If you have some these capabilities, a low benefit means you don't care whether it is, It's not that important, but high benefit high is these are critical to the survival of the company. So now let's see what happens is that in many cases and implementations, and I'm sure that you have run into it, you're going to find some solutions that are that have low benefit, but they have very high cost. Okay, so these are the ones that they should be avoided. Then on the other extreme are the ones that have low cost but very high benefits. Okay, and these are the ones that you must do. So these are the important ones, and I'm going to look at the investigator and all that in a minute. Let's just walk through very quickly, very quickly, the different type of packages here, and these and decide. So first package, okay, keep it in mind that you have around $10,000 only. So the HR package is $5,000. This is for human resource. Do you think this is a from a benefit point of view, is this a high benefit or low benefit? What do you think? For a company of only 10 employees, having paying in $5,000 for HR, do you think is high benefit or low benefit?
Low benefit, sir.
Exactly.
I think it's low benefit.
Yeah, because for 10 employees, you can just even pay it by hand, right?
Of course.
So there is no need to spend that. So this is an example of that. It's too expensive, and its benefit is not enough. So this, I would put that in the avoid session and say that so let's not do this one. The next one is the CRM package. This is the customer relationship package. Do you think this is a high benefit or low benefit?
High benefit.
Exactly. Yeah, it's a very high benefit, and its cost is relatively low also. So I would put that in the low cost but high benefit. So that is something that I would go ahead and get one, right?
Yes, must do.
Okay. The next one then is the inventory management. No, so if I get that, okay, so inventory, what do you think? Is it for a bicycle shop where they have to, or a sports shop where they have to sell multiple items and all that? Do you think that's a low benefit or high benefit?
High benefit.
Yeah. Okay. And how about cost? This is reasonably low. It is moderate, but I would consider that it is high enough. In other words, it's critical, almost critical to your company, so you should use it. So this is, let's say, so I'm going to use that. So I'm going to get CRM package and inventory package. That puts me at $6,000, and I have now only 4,000 left. So now purchasing, online purchasing system. So that people can purchase items online. Let's say the cost is 5,000. And so this is, what do you think? Is online purchasing going to be high benefit or low benefit?
It's high benefit.
It's high benefit.
Yeah, it is high benefit. Yeah, because you can, with the online purchasing, you can have a lot of people purchase your products. So in this case, it's high benefit, but it's cost for my purpose because we don't have enough left money here. Its cost is high. So it is high benefit, but high cost. So this is what they investigate. So what happens in the investigate is that you want to figure out what to do with it. So what would you do? You're all very bright people in a situation where this is, and I know that you run into this situation a lot, but it is needed. It's very high benefit, but the cost is too high. What would you do? What are the kind of options that you have?
I think the best thing to do is putting everything on a scale of preference. Everything that we believe is high benefits, we now put them on a scale of preference and juxtapose it side by side with the budget. And we can now strike out the ones that are not urgently needed. And like now, the purchasing software or the inventory, we might now decide to manage the inventory manually on a temporary basis, knowing that we can now get the software at a later time at $4K.
Okay, that's a good that's one choice. The other is that how about looking at other options for purchasing? In other words, is there some open software, open source software that is available for less than 5K? How about renting the purchasing package, right?
I think we actually got to those points too, in the sense that we have a smaller budget and we have a lot of things to do. So this is what we came up with. We started looking for vendors who provide free basic versions. So we started getting on them, and then with the hope, once we've gone through what their premium version has, and we know that okay, fine, we can scale to these premium versions later on when we have the money. So we'll still have to do with the basic versions for now, which are free. We find out that we're actually saving a lot of money with that. So that's what we're doing.
Okay, good, very good. So as long as you have methodology, what I'm saying is that this, by the way, is a very useful type of a technique of, so if, for example, you're looking at something that is high cost, but high benefit, but also high cost, then you try to see, can you somehow reduce the cost so that then it becomes must do. So the analysis is mainly to push the cost down somehow, so that you can do it. In the case of a don't care, let's say this is something that although right now it's low cost, low benefits, but somebody really wants to do it. They say, what can we do so that we can actually purchase it? So then what you really need to do is somehow try to improve its benefit. In other words, add some features to it and things of that nature. So in other words, this is the main area of work that is done in portfolio cost benefit analysis, that they take some of the items that may have, low cost, that is good, but their benefits people are not sure about it. So what you try to do is make their benefits higher so that they go into the must-do column. So that's what really, this becomes a very nice game actually. And on space, I'm going to show you there is a very nice cost benefit analysis game where you can play that game and you can try to see which one is a low cost and high benefit, and how can which one do you need to proceed so that you come up with the things that fall into your budget. So that's just a very simple technique. So what I'm going to ask you to do is to really for your shop and your or Bob's bicycle shop, try to use these three approaches and see what happens. And then I am now going to show you this space tool. I don't know whether I don't think I'll have the time to give a demonstration, but please go there. This is space for ICT.com that Amos knows it very well, but now it has been developed very heavily. I think today we are doing some maintenance on it, but it is in about an hour or so, it should be ready for you. So this, what the space environment does is, this is a complete planning environment. So that gives you a way that you can go step by step through the entire process. In the inner part of it, it has patterns, like a pattern that I just showed you, business pattern for retail company. There are patterns for agriculture, and there are patterns for lots of other industries, telecommunications, healthcare, definitely. I need to look at the transportation, how good packets they are, patterns they are, and I think I can work with you on improving those patterns. So, but these are the common kind of business processes that the system automatically uses. So what happens in the system is that you choose an industry sector, you choose a location where you're going to form this company, and then it walks you through step by step with what kind of patterns you have, and then from there helps you make the recommendations and things of that nature. And by the way, then we have these games around it. These are different type of games. There are like cost benefit analysis game. There are a bunch of games here. And after that, also there are some other tools like PISA. We are not using it right now, but the e-planner, this is the extensive planner. It is available. So there are lots of tools there. There are a lot of other tools like the entrepreneurship advisor. There is sustainable development goal advisor. So what I'm going to do is I will make it available to everybody in about a week or so that you guys can actually take a look at it and also use it for a while. And you can use it for smart cities, in fact. So I'm going to show you some examples of this tool. So in other words, how do you do this planning by using this type of a tool? It will walk you through those steps. So these are these components of space. There's a patterns repository, there are games and simulations, there's a simple planner, and then there's a strategic planner, and lots of other tools here available too. I think if I try to work on the Zoom right now, I'm going to go all over the place. So I won't show it to you, but you guys can go visit that site and take a look at it. So what I'm really asking you to do is your exercise 2 or your homework 2 is to develop a simple plan and a solution based on the information. Let's see, what am I? Yeah, and a tour of the space site. So based on the information in this session, develop a sketch of an IT plan, simple enterprise like case study 1 that you have chosen, like Bob's shop or your own shop, companies that you have chosen. I think I really like some of the companies that you have chosen. So they are very interesting. Here are the steps. So what I'm going to ask you is to develop the following. What's the overall goal of the company, and what is their business strategy, like 3 to 4 sentences. Should the NG model be used? What will be the application plan for this company or for your company? And then what's the IT infrastructure or architecture for your company? What will be the brief cost benefit analysis for automation? By the way, I do refer to these things in chapter 2 and all that. I have not posted them. If anybody wants to, I can post some of these chapters also online. And then go to the space site and browse through it and understand what it is, what does it do, and all that, because we are going to use this platform to actually develop some plans for your companies and also for some of the let's say small communities or small cities, that we can use all of that here. So this will be very helpful. And go to the game section of space and play at least 2 games in the learning game section. Specifically, please play the cost benefit analysis game and 1 more game in that area. So so that's really what your homework assignment is. So now you're, in other words, now I'm asking you to, for this company, develop first by paper and pencil a few things, and then go to the space site. On the space site, when you go there, you can, if it needs a login access you can just get a temporary or visitors or a guest ID type thing. And then we can talk about it next week, that do you need more access to it and all that, and I can take care of that. All right, so that's the session. So what I've done is I've really very briefly walked through a systematic planning process that goes through first identifying business processes, then the technologies, and then doing cost benefit analysis to see which one will work, which will not work. Now, I know many of you are already experienced in it, so that's why I want to see your views on it. And what I'm going to do is look at everybody's work, and then we can have actually a very good discussion next week on what future directions do we want to take this work to. So I'm done. And this is I'm exactly in time, 1 hour. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much, Prof. Thank you so very much. Thank you so very much, Professor. And,
Thank you very much, Prof, for this wonderful presentation.
Okay. The stage of planning.
Maybe some of you can turn off your videos so that we can hear better.
I've muted the suspicious sound from there. Now, I think the planning stage of this exercise is actually the beginning of the, it's actually the beginning of the game. And
yes.
I know after this exercise, you'll be more into the space journey. And I think that's actually where we're going to really realize all that we've been talking about all along. Within the week, of course, the access to space4ict.com, I think you will be able to see what your access to the place can be within the period, so that you can actually have take a feel of what the environment is all about. But just like we will normally do, Prof has actually delivered. I will actually want us to do a review, one after the other. Perhaps I wouldn't want to take it in any special order. This assignment is going to involve your existing groups.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, because I wouldn't want you to do.
I think I saw group 1, 2, and 3, right?
Excellent. Yeah. Yes. Group 1, 2, and 3. So I need this exercise to be properly done within your various groups. And in there, we want your contribution, we want your questions, we want everybody needs to understand what it is. So that at this stage, that group work has to actually involve an intelligence outcome, by way of what you submit at the end of the day. And the understanding is actually very important. So thank you very much, Prof.
All right. Okay.
So I think while you are taking that, I will actually want the participants to also give a review, very, very short reviews as to the presentation today. Or do we still use the same order? The same order as of last week. Follow that order. Who was number 1?
I don't even know the number that I was.
Okay.
Okay, let's go by the content of your group. Group 1, people of group 1, do your review.
Yeah, that would be better, yes.
Yes.
Okay, the review of this lecture or
yes. Can somebody within your group just do a review? Let's review on a group basis now.
Good. Somebody was already talking.
Group 1. Who is in group 1? Let's unmute.
Yeah, I think some people are on mute.
Let's unmute. Group 1. That's AKWA, IBOM, State.
Yeah, could you please turn off your videos? I think
sound is coming from Aliu. I've stopped that.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Okay. Are you group 1?
Okay.
Yes, I mean,
it's Ogun State, Group 1.
Yes.
So who speaks?
John would talk.
Okay, good. John, go ahead.
All right. So from the lecture today, Prof has taken us through the basics of enterprise planning and the main steps that we are to take while planning and digitizing an enterprise. And from having a goal and now planning and putting the plan on paper, now having a document, and now from there, we now explain more on the aspects of the enterprise planning, the areas of focus, the time horizons, and the planning for the business, the information. Then you can now have it. Is it just the operational planning, the 6 months to 1 year time frame, or the tactical planning, the 1 to 2 years, or a more long-term strategic planning, that's 3 to 5 years. From there, we now looked at the strategic planning methodology, where you can now plan the business process and create the information system and digital technologies for the business to run smartly. And now we now went ahead to look at the basic operation of a business. And the case study we had 8 operations: the customer services, marketing, human resources, finance and accounting, sales, etc. So from there, we proceeded to now knowing how to place our priorities while starting this. From there, we placing the priorities in terms of knowing where to, what do you call it, cost-benefit analysis, where to put in more money, depending on the budget initially, where to put in more money. Is it in the marketing? Is it in the customer communication? Or is it in human resource? So it was very enlightening in that aspect, because we now know how do you arrange the architecture of the IT within the company. Do you need a what do you call it, a LAN, a local area network, and a corporate intranet, where you can now have a general server and every other part of the company fits off the general server and exchanges information for smooth running. And we now got deeper into the cost-benefit analysis to know which would be the must do, or what we can avoid, because most times because of high cost, because that's where we now have a scale. You can now draw a scale of preference. Okay, because of the high costs, we will avoid this. In the long run, we can do that later. So Prof really explained that to us before now finally introducing us to the space computer-aided planning, engineering, and management environment. So where we were now encouraged to go to the site where we will find learning games, management games, planning games, implementation games, and we will get to know the patterns, the enterprise patterns, and knowledge. We'll see the knowledge repositories, and we'll be able to use the specialized tools so as to be able to plan. We're using the space for ICT.com website. So thank you.
Okay.
Very good.
That's very good.
Very good.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, Prof,
John, very good.
Yeah, Prof, you can unshare your screen. Prof, you can unshare your screen, sir.
Okay, go ahead. You want to share your screen? Let me. Let me.
Okay. Do you still have more to share?
Yeah, I think I am. Yeah, I can share my screen.
Okay.
Can you see my screen now?
We've seen it. No. Wrap up enterprise. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but you're seeing the same thing now. But which screen do you want to?
No, I'm not sharing. I'm not sharing the screen. I'm not sharing the screen. I was trying to see how we can unshare it when it close.
Okay. That would just entail clicking stop share.
Yeah.
Okay, so I will. Yeah, just a minute.
Yeah. Okay. Alt S, alternate S.
Yeah, okay. It's just a minute.
So while doing that, we wait for group 2. Any group 2 ready?
Did it stop sharing?
No, sir. If you just take your cursor to the top of the screen, you'll see a drop down. There you can click stop share.
Wait a minute. What happened to my...
Okay.
Okay, just a minute.
View options. Is it not the one on top?
Stop the video.
What did we do the other time?
I think is my screen being shared right now or not?
It's still being shared. It's still being shared. We're trying to we're trying to deactivate it. Okay.
Okay, now.
Okay, great. Yeah. Thanks. Great.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. So group 2. Who are in group 2?
Hello, good afternoon, everyone.
Mohammed Abubakar, how are you?
Yeah, I'm very fine. I'm in group 2, and our members are Awal Isiaku from Taraba and Mr. David from Benue.
Oh, great. Are they here?
Endurance,
are they here?
They are not here. Unfortunately, Awal told me that he's not feeling too well. Okay, you are connected, Awal?
Okay, so
No. Okay, I'm talking of Awal. He called me that he's not be able to attend because he's not feeling too well.
Okay, but she was in earlier. She was in earlier, actually. All right. Okay, but can you just do a review?
Okay, maybe I think I'll take 2 parts, then Endurance can take maybe.
No problem. No problem.
All right. Good afternoon once again, everyone. Thank you very much, Prof, for this wonderful presentation. You are highly impacted more knowledge into our brains. The first part that I want to start reviewing is overview of the planning. This is the first step I think we have started learning today on how to make planning process, in the sense that Prof taught us how to have some planning or goal objectives planning process and planning documents, whereby for every business that you are going to do, you have to have a tangible planning which can make you to succeed on that process. He also gave us an example of wedding planning. So if you are going to have a marriage without having planning, it's not going to be perfect. So these are the kind of example, Prof.
Married or not?
Of course, I'm married. That's why I'm referring to that because I know. Yeah, I know how it is and what I have gone through.
Okay.
So that's for the overview planning. And the different aspect of enterprises, he taught us some types of planning, which he talked about the enterprise-wide and the area of focus and the time horizontal, either is short time or longer time. And he also taught about the business processes, whereby you start from either lower level or to the high level. And he also talked about the common approach and the cost benefits, where he emphasized that you can pick some of the program or project that you can automate them, and some that you can be able to do them manually. So far, this is what I learned from the program.
Thank you.
Great. So group 2, you are still on.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Endurance. How are you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, please, let me just put a message here. The whole essence of this smart city innovation is for us to be able to identify with these techniques of taking the right decisions after having gone through the right, after having used the right methodologies to deriving certain basic information that makes us to take the right decisions. So you realize that most of us, we do see that people in government, especially when you look at chairmen of local government areas or councillors of your communities and things like that, these people, as soon as they become elected and they are chairmen of local governments or councillors and thereabouts, they just don't care as to some of these principles that we are talking about here. So these people start with spending Nigerian naira or Nigerian kobo without thinking, without even engaging self before they are beginning to get RFPs or proposals that they are beginning to spend money on. And eventually, they go about spending this money when they really don't get the outcome or the product or whatever they want to build or what they want to do for the community. So these things have been failing. And we're trying to see how some of us and some of you can come together, offer this assistance, and ensure that they are doing the right things for the right solutions. So that at least they should be offering services that are having benefits to the community, to the citizens. So the whole thing is that, taken seriously, this is a bottom line, brand new job opportunity for all of you. And it's actually the direction that we can actually see how we can tame the political excesses that we have discovered in our leadership, circle. So, like for instance, you endurance, right there in Edo State government, you will begin to see certain gaps that I know you can begin to mitigate based on these experiences. And each and every one of us in their various regions, these are about the areas and things that is going to you're going to be using to, really project yourself as the smart city innovation subject matter expert that you are. And this we hope to do across the country so that we can actually form that network of what can actually build that new academy for us to receive or evolve our digital economy, because we're not going to purchase a digital economy, I keep saying. It is you that will actually do those things that will make us, achieve digital economy. So that don't just go celebrating or creating this propaganda like people in government that we are going to have digital economy overnight. It's a whole lot of work. So endurance, you can continue.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. And thank you, Prof, as well too. You've actually done a lot for us this afternoon. And looking at what our head facilitator just spoke about now, about the digital economy. And if you follow the Edo State back to back based on the inauguration that just took place on the 12th of November, you hear that the governor is already talking about digital governance and digital economy. Now, in the states, the process in which we run our payrolls, we operate Oracle in the state level. Oracle, where every commissioners, every PSCs, every directors, every accountant general, DFAs operate these oracles on their desks. While the last time I said the challenges that the DFAs and the PSCs are having is that they are not too groomed in the usage of computer hardware. Now we are still looking at that part to be able to mitigate the gap that we are having on that angle. And looking at the LGAs that Mr. Amos just talked about now. Hello, can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, with you. I'm with you.
Yeah. If you look at the LGAs just talked about now, the LGAs, we have started deploying a process of ODU, where we can cut off this normal pay by hand or via through the bank process by hitting everybody's accounts. Now we are having a better process now because the governor, I believe, is set to do more on these aspects. of payment system in Edo State so that to actually block some leakages. And so that we can, the COVID-19 has actually exposed the world that we really need to work on how to block leakages and create more revenue for the development of everyone. Now, looking at what the Prof have said this afternoon, we now get to understand that the application plan is very, very key.
Very, very
now, key. I said, if you look at the Oracle and the Odoo, I believe we bought them. It was a bot these applications. And we have some other applications which are developed from the state here, homegrown applications that we use for communications from one particular MDAs to other MDAs. And I believe looking at the enterprise-wide connectivity platform, Edo State is already running on that because we have a fiber optic almost everywhere in Benin City. Fiber optic almost everywhere in Benin City. And presently we are thinking of going cloud, and our cloud probably will be located in South Africa. From the last meeting we attended, we believe that we are going to that dimension where we'll be hosting our cloud. We can keep our information so that even when there's fire outbreak and every other issues, we could actually retrieve our files. Now that talks about the simple architecture that we just talked about of the small company, the main server. Now we are taking our server away from the state to a place where everyone can probably access it, irrespective that you are in Nigeria or you are not in Nigeria. You can be able to access such information. Now, looking at the cost benefit, because so far what you just said, I believe it all depends on finance. The resources of the state is very, very limited, and we ought to see how we could put them into looking at the business and the state point of view. Now, definitely, you talk about there are some called free. There are some free buying a lot of software. There are some free source software that you can actually get from the cost benefit. Now, there are some that we actually need to avoid. There are some actually we actually need to make use of. The last time when we look at the cost of registering every system on Microsoft, we thought that we knew that we were spending a lot of money on that, and we are now investigating, looking at other way we can be, at least other applications that we can make do with from the various MDAs, so that they can be working a licensed software that they can be used, so that we don't look as if we are working with pirated software, so that we could update them and use the full bouquet of a particular applications. Now we are looking at the low, where we can have what a low cost and probably have what a high benefit in all these applications. So far, I believe we've learned a lot. And maybe what I'll be looking at majorly is this computer-aided planning, engineering, management, and management environment that we just need to actually go online and see what Prof said we should look at on that aspect.
That's good.
So far, I believe this is all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's very good.
So, but then one information for Edo State. I hear about your hosting in South Africa. Please, you need to verify from NIDA and the Federal Minister of Communication and Digital Economy, their take on data sovereignty.
Okay.
So that they may require that you look more inwards for hosting. So I think that's on this. I'm sure they will have some policies around in there. So you need to verify that. Right, group 3.
Okay, sir.
Group 3, can we have group 3 people?
Okay, group 3 will see.
Do we have group 3 people?
Anybody
Yes,
from
yes,
group
sir.
3?
Yes,
Good.
sir.
Are you group 3?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm Bauchi State.
Okay, yeah, please. Group 3 can give us a review.
Okay, what we have learned so far for this
Sorry,
session of
Aliu.
today.
Hello, Mr.
Yes.
Aliu.
Yes.
Please, by now, you move above being upgraded, though. Don't tell us you're yet to be upgraded.
No, we have been upgraded, sir. We have learned so many things.
Thank you. Go ahead.
We are talking about the local chairmen and councillor for local government.
They need a lot of help now. They need a lot of help right now.
Yes, we already formed a team in Bauchi State here, so that our team of the ICT can go to local governments and some local villages, so that we can train people how to become more digitalized for the state, so that we have left far behind in terms of ICT. So what we have done so far, we train up to 20,000 villagers by now. So by next 5 years, we are hoping that we can train almost 1 million people in the villages and Baltimore metropolitan.
Okay. Sorry, Mr. Liu. Mr. Liu, you know,
yes.
our focus right now will be having interest to engage almost every leader, community leader in Bauchi or in each state. We are trying to see how we can get every leader in each of these communities brushed in what we are doing now. Even leadership training will be required. So over time, these kind of sectors must be prepared for them so that they can actually see where their problems are. Because politicians today really want to do the good thing, but they really don't have that. There's no one around them telling them the right thing, how to do this right thing. So if they know that there are ways of doing things correctly, sincerely, they will want to associate themselves with doing the right thing going forward. So we are trying to see how this project will be able to go down, be relevant and useful to them, so that the result of whatever inputs or leadership processes they are putting in place has to imbibe some of these principles for better results. So you understand? So I mean, we are even looking at the leadership capacity development at that level. No? Imbibing these principles in whatever it is that they are doing for their day-to-day activity to the state. Right, Aliu. Hello, okay, group 3, any other group 3?
Okay, good.
Group is KANO.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Afternoon.
Hi.
Yes. I would like to listen to you on this process, Awa.
Okay, so far what I've learned today is about having a good plan in the process of. So if you're planning a good process, you have to have a goal. Like the prof have explained about bicycle, is it transportation by bicycle? If you want to start a transportation, the first thing you need to know about it is the means of the transport. What means are you going to use for the transportation? Right. I think that's the first thing I as a planner will look into. The travel, if you are planning for a traveling, you have to start thinking about what means of transport are you taking. To me, I don't know if I'm right.
No,
So when you start, okay. So after knowing the means of the transport, then you have to know that what time, what's the destination, where am I even going, and what is the purpose of that travel. That's the purpose of traveling, as he explained earlier. So in the process of planning a good business, you have to plan. Planning is the best. When a business has a good plan, it doesn't crash easily. Most of the businesses that crash, to me, is they don't have a good plan from the beginning. If you plan a good idea, good planning, you have a specific goal, then I think every business has to reach its point. So I think this planning is a very good thing to follow in business.
That's important. Can I hear from more of the Amazons in the house? Ikematu, Gombe.
Oh, hello, sir.
Hello.
Aliu, I come.
Hello.
Oh, sorry, 1 minute, Aliu. Let's hear from Ikematu. I'll come back to you.
Okay.
Guys,
okay.
Ikematu, go ahead.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I hope everybody is fine. From today's lesson, I was able to pick one or two things because I was not able to join earlier. So with that, I was able to see one or two things about planning, and then how to make a successful a business, and then I think that was what I picked.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yes, to make it very snappy. Yeah.
Ali, before I get back to you, let me hear from Mercy. We want to listen to all the Amazons in the house.
Thank you.
Mercy.
So from today's session, I think I learned that if you plan well, it will help you define your goals, for the business you're running.
Oh, sorry, Mercy, Mercy, let me drop one example. Mercy, let me drop one example. Are you familiar with some local government chairmen in some regions in this country? They plan to tar a road. They've gotten the contract issued, and the contractors will start the work. And most of the time, we see them kind of initiating these contracts under a bad season, especially when you have serious rain or heavy downpours. And by the time they're beginning to pour the materials, these roads that they tar and construct, they don't last 3, 4 months, 5 months. Are we familiar with this in our regions?
AKWA as the dominance of those kind of cases.
And does this point to the fact? Does this point to the fact that these leaders really mean doing well? Do they mean to do well? Do they plan before they even start these road constructions? And is not the thing of the service done at all? Because it's a common thing. Mercy, have you heard something?
Okay, my thoughts on that is that you can plan well and you can plan not well. So no matter the outcome, there was a plan. The problem is they actually don't plan well enough to know that this is a season. Even a contractor should be able to tell someone that contracts him or her that the weather is not appropriate to do road at this point. But because a lot of our politicians don't take due course before doing something. They just want to embark and do it. And then during the rainy season, they abandon those roads and those will become unpenetrable. People can't pass again. So they don't plan well. And then they are not conscious of the outcome of their actions. So which is a bad planning on their own angle.
Okay. Maybe Mohammed Abubakar. Mohammed, you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I can hear you, sir.
You are the politician. Would you say this is sometimes intended for good reason or bad reason?
Actually, to me, is depend on the person.
Would they want to listen to the truth?
Hello?
Would they want to listen to the truth?
Why not? Why not? I think to me is depend on the person that is been there, because from the good example we can see in Nigeria, when you look at the Borno State Governor, Professor Umara Zulum, what he's doing currently and what he has done for his people is something that everyone has seen physically. Excellent. So all those people that are saying that they have started this, at the end of the day they fail because they have, some of them have done it intentionally. Because the truth is that if you want to do a good thing, you know how to follow it. Yeah. No matter what, they have advisors, they have so many unnecessary things that they have been doing instead of focusing to develop the country. Because most of them, when you look at what they are doing now, they are just developing themselves and their families.
That's right.
That is the only, yes, that's the only truth, because you can see a road in a local government whereby ordinary councillor can do something to help, maybe a culvert or something like that. They will just ignore it and people have been suffering. So that kind of thing is depend on the person. And some of them, when they are going to seek for people votes, they will just use their mouth to pamper people so that they can get their votes. At the end of the day, there's no any good outcomes. But as a politician, to me, I want to suggest that in every country, in every nation, there's not any way a country or a nation can develop without having a competent right person. So those right people, they are the one that's supposed to be voted for that positions. But unfortunately, due to our negligence, because I know this is covered almost everywhere, we are not ready to vote for the good ones. We are always following those that can come and maybe give some political gimmick. And at the end of the day, we can vote for them without getting any good outcome. So to me, it's depend on the person, and we too, we need to contribute positively to elect the best among us. Thank you.
Thank you, Mohammed. I'm sure there's one other politician that wants to talk. Mr. John.
Okay, please, for the record, I am totally apolitical. Okay. The way I see it, I see it as the situation on ground makes the smart city project we are on more imperative and important, because the politicians in Nigeria, what they do is they become active only when it gets close to election season. And when they become active, our people they seem to be so comfortable with taking trickles. They come to the polling unit, they share paltry sums of money to buy votes, there's vote buying, they share food items, and so on and so forth. Our people are so convenient with taking those things and giving them the votes, and then they turn their eyes elsewhere for the next 4 years. Meanwhile, if through this smart city project, if these people, maybe the ones that are farmers, the ones that are traders, if they are able to improve their economic statuses in smart ways, in digital ways, by the time, I believe that will bring about a little form of education and enlightenment. And by the time it comes around to the election season, it should be clearer. And being that at that point, maybe most of them, their economic statuses have been improved, they would be able to now say, no, no, you're not going back there. That is what we are lacking. It's just not there. It's just not there. We just toe the line. whatever is given, yes, I know they are going there, let him go there in the next 4 years, let me get what I can get right here. And you get 1 cup of rice and 500 naira, and it amounts to nothing, to the detriment of, you lose 4 years, you lose 4 years of sustainable development.
So Mr. John,
so that is what we
help. How must you, because you have to use innovation to disrupt the excesses of political class.
That is what I mean. By using innovation, we are trying as much as possible to improve the economic statuses of the people around.
That's right.
Mostly in the rural areas.
That's right.
By the time, once those people are comfortable economically and financially, by the time it comes around to election season and you go there to give them trickles or whatever, trinkets, 1 cup of rice, whatever, once they start looking down on those things, knowing that they have enough, they are sufficient, they are self-sufficient, once they start looking down, they'll start taking the right decisions. Because at this point, their decisions are being influenced by certain factors which I believe are highly irrelevant.
Great, great. Any more comments?
That's very good, very good. Very good comments, John.
Yeah,
really.
Thank you, sir.
Prof, you know, I shared with you from a very different country in the world. So we have...
Yeah, that's all right.
From a very different country in the world, and we are special. Our cases need special breed, you know. So, Aliu, do you still have a comment?
Many comments.
Uh-oh. By the way, I have to leave in about 10 minutes.
Oh, great. Yes, we'll soon leave this.
Yeah. Let me take even 2 minutes or 1 minute, sir.
Go ahead.
Okay, so you're talking about the chairmen and the councillor of local government.
Yes.
Last year, we have trained almost all of the permanent secretary and directors, show them the impact of ICT in the government. In fact, of the how you can transparency your ministry. We build a small application so that all your budget, you can put it inside the application. If you withdraw like 1 million or 10 million, your budget will be decreased. So we have transparency in our system for the state. Mm-hmm. So our main target is local government chairmen and councillors. Okay. So we form a team so that we can go and enlighten all of the local chairmen and councillors for the local government. We have read an ICT policy for the whole of the state last 2 months. So the policy is with the Parliament, House of Assembly for BAUCHI, so that they can approve our policy, the ICT policy in the state. That is my comments.
You see, you can make a contribution to that document by what you are doing here, and that's the whole essence. We can actually do a contribution to that.
Yes,
we're doing here. Prof, can you hear that?
I think the sound is not coming.
The voice is bad. The voice is bad, okay. If any other comments? Any other comments?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we can call it today.
For this city.
Hello, somebody was
speaking? Yeah, hello, sir.
Yes, go ahead.
Looking at what we'll be saying, so we just talked about innovations now. If we want to get a good leaders in our country, we have to start by using IT to bring good leaders. What do I mean? Now, I heard that the Mahmoud, there is the ANEC chairman. The ANEC chairman talked about using some technology on running election processes. I believe where people can actually vote without seeing their politicians, not to give them probably some money or buy votes from them. I believe we can start using technology to run them. And there will be definitely a primary key or a way of running it so that at least one person can vote and they cannot vote twice. I believe if the technology are probably used on this direction, I believe Nigeria will be a better place. We'll definitely elect a better leader.
You are correct, Endurance. You see, we can't blame technology. All those things are available in Nigeria. Nigeria have very smart people around the elections. But guess what? We've got cultural issues that would not accept the processes that will bring about what we're talking about. And that is what we're trying to use this program to achieve. And that has to be done by youths like you.
Yeah.
So, any more?
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Well, my own comment is just...
Yes, sir. There is more.
Yeah. Based on the fact that
yes, sir.
Based on the fact that I'm actually playing in the transport industry, I would say I come to realize through this program what Professor has been teaching us all this while that a smart city actually needs smart transportation. And I'm actually happy because I'm kind of well positioned in that industry. So what, like the previous assignment, we were drilled on knowing where we were as at that time. And today's assignment, you know, take it a little bit further. In the sense that we now know that we need we need to have a goal, and those plans are the enterprise planning. Those are the things that will actually move us to the next level. So bringing it back to my own industry, what I'm trying to do, what we've been trying to do, just as I said initially, is to digitize the transport industry, which I believe is smart is key to a smart city settings, just as we're doing. So Professor's lecture today actually made me realize some few things. Yes, we've been trying to look for funding in the sense that I've been talking to some angels, but Professor's teaching today actually made me realize some parts that I need to also work on, you know, to improve and come out better. Thank you, sir.
Great.
All right, very good. Very good.
Right.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Prof. I think,
all right. Well, thank you very much. I really think this is very good input. And so what we are going to do in the next couple of weeks is now try to come up with a solid plan for developing like a group, you know, all of you combined together, forming a virtual smart city, or virtual smart community that different people, like these different groups, the 3 groups, they will work on one part of it, and we'll all collaborate together and by using space as a tool. So I'm going to show you a lot of things about how you can use these things in practice to move forward in the next 2 weeks. Okay.
Thank you, Prof. So thank you. So you can go to rest. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Very much. Thank you very, very much.
All
right. So please do the this homework, you know, exercise 2. Also post it on Friday so that I could look at on Friday night, like I did this one last night, and that was very helpful to me to understand everything. Okay. Have a good day, gentlemen. And nice weekend.
Thank you.
All right. Bye.
Take you very much. Thank you so much, Mr. Amos, and all the participants.
So everybody, anyone else with any comments as Prof? Take it.
So I have a comment. All
right, please.
It's like I'm the only one that didn't speak today.
Oh, you didn't respond today? Oh, please.
Yes,
free your mind.
Yes, so what I have to comment is that as one of with the transparency of then you respond with those that will accept or implement the the system, they will not accept it because it's like the thing is working against them. If they do so, at the end of the day, they will end up, the thing is backfiring them. So here we have one real case study, which me and my team, we developed one election system. It's very transparent. It's a one complete 100% package software where if we are to vote to do some kind of election, it's very transparent. Everything is open. So, and there's no way anybody can manipulate or read anything. So even at the school where they give it as a project, so we help our friend to finish the work. So after we have done it, the guy even enter into one competition at Abuja. They even come to second position.
Shouldn't give up in our pursuit to make a change. We shouldn't give up in whatever we are doing or whatever we are doing. We should just keep pushing forward. And I believe that we can achieve further than we are. It will take time because of the resistance of the hold which we are seeing.
Let me share a background. Let me share a background based on what he just said. Yusuf said now. You see, this project in totality is a corruption control project, but we're not going to use those names. We're actually going to go after doing the right thing as the campaign for the revolution. So it's not about, so if you say it's corruption control, it's like you're already attacking them.
Of course.
So you just go after sharing how they can do the right thing in governance. So if you begin to use anti-corruption, all those language, you'll be their enemies. Myself and Prof, we've been on this for almost 10 years now. And I do tell anybody in any part of the world, I am from a special country. Even when countries like Jamaica started with the design that I had earlier on, they failed. And because certain things will not work the way people might be viewing it from outside Nigeria. But in Nigeria, we're going to use innovation to review all these excesses. And it will work by you being confident, knowing what you are doing, and impacting more Nigerians to doing the right thing. And just like I heard from the words of John, that the more we can use this powerful initiative to empower the prosperity of that brick and mortar set of human beings in your locality, the better they will get, the better they'll become very proud citizens that can be lured by one tin of milk to abuse a national election, and things like that. You see, if you can actually, like, in fact, the assignments we have currently, most of you are not taking it rather that seriously. I've not seen it yet. That in fact, in your various areas, you're going to find those women or children hawking and selling groundnuts on the streets. How can we use innovation to empower them? I'm not saying take them off the road not to sell groundnuts. Let them sell, if they were selling like 1,000 groundnuts in a day, how can they sell far more than 1,000 naira in a day? How can they improve their bottom line still selling groundnuts? If there are low-level services that can help that set of Nigerians today, it is in our palms to ensure that we can think it out and offer those services to those people. It does not matter where they are in the community. Those guys will be smarter human beings, much more proud of themselves as citizens, and it won't be about whether one government is looking after them or not, because Nigerians are really hard. Poverty cycle is such that they are there because they feel nothing can be done. But if innovation, through innovation and some of these means, we can actually think of ways of improving them, then that's the kind of revolution you can actually do to empower people. Because don't forget, in doing so to uplift the economic status of people at that level, you are indirectly earning a living. You know, so that's actually the way to go. It may not be about attacking anybody about being corrupt or what have you, but then there will be ways of, you know, presenting what we are doing, that social innovation ways of doing what we are doing, that even the leader, the person in that leadership office will be interested in knowing what to do, so that he wants to be like an outstanding leader at the end of the day. So gentlemen, so that we don't drag it beyond what it should be, I'll say thank you so much, everybody, and thanks for your time. And I'm happy we have in the house today Klimatu, we have Mercy, we have Endurance. I've not seen BENUE active. I think we need to really get across to who is not here, because as you can see, if we miss this lecture, I don't know how you want to recover, even video yourself, if that can help. So it's not always that we must bank on the video, because some of the class interactions goes a long way to really help. Thank you so much, everyone. So class prefect. Class prefect, you can close the class. Now class prefect doesn't want to talk. You can close the class or delegate to John or whoever.
I want to believe my internet is not good. Hello, sir, what did you just say?
Yeah, you can close the class, please.
Hello, sir.
I said class prefect, close the class, close the class.
Meeting has closed, no, everybody go home.
Oh, no, John, you know I told you we are going to find this prefect. Ekimatu, please close this class. Ekimatu, please close this class properly. The class prefect didn't do a good job.
Okay, everybody, we have come to the end of
I guess John can be the class prefect. But Bonnie, I believe
you very much for your participation.
Ekimatu did a better job than the class prefect. Everybody, good night. Bye.